Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It's time to get up and tune into your daily BossFM morning news. I'm Megan.
And I'm Kristian.
And today we're kicking the week off with some positive action for the trans community, high schools, and so much more. So let's get into it.
Wake the streets up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wake the streets up. Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So first off, Kristian has some information about a new New York bill.
That's right, Megan. So New York State has finally repealed a problematic walking while trans bill that's been around since 1976. We have the package for you. Let's check it out. New York lawmakers voted to pass a bill this week that repeals a discriminatory law that has historically victimized trans and sex worker communities since 1976. Section 240.37 of the New York State Penal Code, a decades-old ordering law that LGBTQ advocates have long called the walking while trans law, has obstructed many people from seeking employment, housing, and other civil liberties. We've received multiple accounts of trans men and women being arrested and falsely accused of being involved with sex work. Kristen Lavelle, who was a sex worker in New York City in the late 1990s, said she was arrested more than 40 times under the law. She then said they would try and find various other ways to criminalize you, from trespassing to loitering. Once, she said police even handcuffed her to a pole and held her to a jail cell for 2 days. She later sued the city and won the settlement. In 2018, 91% of people arrested under the statute were Black or Latino, and 80% identified as women. This is Kristian Calhoun, BossFM News. First of all, I don't think it's right to criminalize sex work in the first place, especially for the transgender community, when they're forced into these types of roles because they are discriminated against in the 9-to-5 world of employment. It's safe to say that last year taught us that we can all use just a little bit more compassion, and Meghan has a story out of the Carolinas doing just that.
A principal at a South Carolina high school has picked up a second job to help his students. Henry Darby is the principal of North Charleston High School. Darby heard there were students sleeping under bridges or in cars. About 90% of the student body at this high school lives below the poverty line. So, Darby works from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. at Walmart a couple days a week. His whole paycheck goes to helping students in need. He said, quote, "At my age, we don't ask for money. We just don't. You just go ahead and do what you need to do," end quote. Walmart surprised Darby on the Today Show with a $50,000 check for the school. The fact that the principal has to go out and work extra hours in order to help these students makes me really sad, because there should be practices in place to help these students that don't require the principal to have to work every time he's out of school. Up next, Kristian has more information about reform in the policing community. Kristian?
That's right, Megan. So Denver actually sent out a mental health worker to help out with a 911 call instead of the police, and this is how it went. Another U.S. city is reporting early success with a program that replaces traditional law enforcement with healthcare workers for some emergency calls. The Support Team Assistance Response Pilot Program, or STAR, created a third track for directing emergency calls. Now, we have that capability to send them to a 2-person team, a medic and a clinician, who are both staffed in a van from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. The program aims to provide a person-centric crisis response to community members who are experiencing problems related to mental health, depression, poverty, homelessness, or substance abuse. Since 2015, police have fatally shot nearly 1,400 people with mental illnesses. Over the first 6 months of the pilot, Denver received more than 2,500 emergency calls that fell into STAR program's purview, and the STAR team was able to assist 748 of those calls. None of those calls required the assistance of the police, and no one was arrested. For the coming year, Denver has allocated $1.4 million in the city's budget to continue the STAR program. This is Kristian Calhoun, BossFM News. So they are going to be expanding the program. Like I said, they do have that $1.4 million infusion going into their new budget. So, of course, you can tune in to BossFM News, and we'll keep you guys updated on this story. Hopefully, we'll see that coming into more cities near you. Megan has a story for us about positive COVID news, and not positive test results, positive news about COVID. Megan, what's going on?
A 10-year-old boy has created a website with only positive coronavirus news. Aryaman Sinha titled the website Good News Coronavirus, and the motto is, quote, "Spreading good news, not the virus," end quote. Sinha built and maintains the website completely on his own, and he finds stories to share from his house. There's also a newsletter that viewers can sign up for as well. Right now, there are about 100 people on that newsletter list. The project does not give Sinha any money. It is completely voluntary on his part. Sinha said he wants more people to discover the website so we can spread this hope farther. And also the website's design is really, really good. I don't know a lot about website creation, so anything I make I feel like would be complete garbage. But this 10-year-old boy has figured out how to make an amazing website that's super easy to navigate, has important and newsworthy stories, and also has a newsletter. So I think that is absolutely amazing, and good job for him.
Welcome to week 2 of Black History Month. And of course, here on BossFM News, we are going to kick off another week of Black History Month facts. Let's jump in.
The first of the historically black colleges and universities was Cheyney University in Pennsylvania. This school was established in 1937. Jewish professors looking for teaching positions after the 1930s were drawn to HBCUs, and over 50 professors were staffed at black colleges. Jewish professors helped create spaces where black and white students could engage in conversation. Two persecuted groups joined together for a moment to lift each other up. Black people and Jewish people experienced a lot of discrimination around this time, so having that sort of bridge to have these discussions that needed to happen, I think is really cool. All right, everybody, that is it for your Monday morning news. Make sure to tune in later today at 8:30 p.m. for more news with BossFM. If you'd like to rewatch our shows, as always, they will be available for replay on our BossFM app and on all our social media platforms. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. I'm Megan.
And I'm Kristian.
And have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.